going to guide you down the right road. He's going to guide you down the right place. And we're not trusting Him. That's what we're going to have to come back. We are not trusting our shepherd. We're not. We might as well admit it. We might as well come out and say that we're trying to solve our own issues. We got wants. I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Well, we might as well put the Lord is my shepherd. I want to be, but I'm really not letting Him be. And I've got wants. So the rest of this we can cancel out. So you see what happens if you don't fulfill what we said. You've got to meet the condition to get the promise. We're not meeting the condition of letting Him be the shepherd. We're not meeting that condition, and we've got wants. We've got wants to try to solve our issues. It's not that we're out here trying to want a big Lamborghini car or a big Cadillac Escalade. Our wants is trying to solve our issues, our problems. That's what our wants is. We're just trying to get rid of them. And I don't blame you. I would love to have rid of all of mine. But guess what? I don't think I've ever went a day without having some kind of problem, some kind of issue, some kind of thing going on. And I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going to have it for the rest of your life. But it's time that we start trusting Daddy, Shepherd, and letting Him have it and saying, I'm not going to want that anymore. I'm not going to want to try to solve this anymore. I'm going to give it to you and let your rod and staff comfort me. I'm going to let you guide me. I'm going to let you do it because you got it figured out. I'm going to bring it to you and say, Lord, I'm laying it down. Is there anything I can do to help? Is there anything I can do? He'll tell you. He'll tell you if He needs your help. If He don't say nothing once again, let Him have it and say, Lord, if you do need me, since I didn't hear nothing, tell me. You let me know if you need me to do something. I'll be glad to do it. But unless you tell me to do something, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trust the shepherd. I'm going to trust Him. I'm going to trust you, Lord. You have been tempted just the same way I have, but you did it without sin. Guess what? I'm doing it with sin. Verse 5, Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. All your enemies, like He said, feed them. We won't have to worry about them. They'll become their friends that we can sit down at the table with them. They won't be no enemies. They won't be none of that if we'll just get in that right place. Quit trying to solve it. Quit trying to figure out. Many times, I can tell you right now, if somebody dislikes you, everybody wants to be liked. Anybody in here don't want to be liked? Everybody likes to be liked. But now whenever there's people that don't like you, you begin to wonder why. You begin to try to solve, well, what did I do wrong to them? You don't have to do nothing wrong to somebody anymore. Devil gets in their mind and gets them convinced of something, and we try to solve it. And that's a want. Once again, we're not trusting the shepherd, and we got a want. See how we get into that? See how we end up in these situations? When we know He did let God prepare us the table, that we can sit before them, and we can have peace with each and every one of them. Then, He says, Thou anointest thy head with oil. What greater thing can we do than anoint our head with oil and let that anointing pour over us so that our cup may overflow? What's our cup? Our cup of good. The Spirit may overflow with the Spirit of God. And you talking about peace and joy when your cup overflows, or your cup of anything that you're asking God for. It's not that we should not ask God to help us. That's not what I'm saying. We should ask God to help us. There's nothing wrong with asking God to help you. But there is something wrong when you're trying to solve it. And that's when we're not trusting the shepherd. Unless He told us to do something, quit trying to solve it. You cannot do it. You need to start living this life that He has for us. Then we can be that light onto this world, and we can have that peace. Surely, goodness and mercy. That's what we're talking about. We need that goodness and mercy. Shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This is what we all need. We need that mercy. And it can follow us all the days of our life, but we got to follow number one first. We got to let Him be our shepherd. We got to follow the man. Let that rod and staff comfort us. And we got to quit wanting. We got to quit trying to solve. We can't solve it, people. It's above our heads. We're exposed to God what we gave to you. We gave you at the beginning how that He wants mercy upon us. If truth and mercy collides, when we're truthful to God and we bring it forth, then we can find that mercy. Then that righteousness and peace will kiss. Who don't want peace? But we're letting all these issues get to us. We're letting them all get to us. Then we read to you how the Word exposes it to you. We're naked before Him. Hey, we got a high priest right now sitting beside the Father that's been tempted with everything you've been tempted with, but did not sin. But we can boldly enter into a place we can find mercy and grace at a time of need. How? When we realize that we got a shepherd. And we got to trust that shepherd. And we got to quit wanting to solve our own problems. We're going to have to give it to Him. When we do that, then we can have all these other things. Do you not want all these other things that we mentioned? That you still waters, the green pastures, and know that He's going to lead you in the right path? Know these things.
Well, that's like Jesus, He nailed our sins on the cross. We're just trusting Him, but we're trying to unnail it and take it back and do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And we can't follow. That's why we can't follow the law without Him. That's
Right. That's right. We're trying to solve it. You're right. We're taking it apart. That's us, guys. That's us today. We're not trusting Daddy. We're not. We're not trusting Him enough. We're trying to solve our issues. We keep picking them up, saying, I've got to get rid of this. I've got to get rid of this. But you want to know what I really believe? I believe that we're holding on to a lot of issues that could have been solved a long time ago if we just gave them over. We're making things worse. Just like our government is making it worse because man's trying to solve our problems of this nation. They're making it worse. When if they'd get on their knees and turn it over to the Good Shepherd, if they'd turn it over and quit wanting to try to solve all of our issues would be solved. We could have them all solved instead of going $1 trillion in debt every year. Eventually, we're going to go broke. As a nation, we're going to go broke because we're not going to be able to solve it. You know what I heard? I heard a vet telling me, and I tell you this is how bad it is. Our vets deserve some of the best care. But the president just signed a new law into effect that they got to cut every vet's medicine in half. Now, these vets need their medicine. Can you imagine some of these that come over that's got that shock syndrome, whatever that's called, post-traumatic syndrome? Hey, if they don't get their medicine, they're cutting in half on them. How many of them's going to kill themselves? How many of them may go postal and begin to go out and kill a bunch of people because the president and the government decided that they need to cut their medicine in half? Now, you think what kind of issues this is going to cause? Because man is trying to solve the problem. See what happens? You see what's going to be coming out here before long? You watch and see if the suicide rate, and you don't find out that there's more military people that's involved in it's all great out shooting and a bunch of people getting killed because of their training above ours of training. That they'll get one of them guns and go postal and kill a bunch of people. And it won't be their fault. It'll be the government's fault because they dropped their medicine. They're cutting everybody's medicine across the board in the VA by half. And don't look out because they said if he gets in office again, they're expecting more cuts. Think about that. That's man trying to solve problems. That's the same thing with you and me. That's what happens if we begin to solve problems. We will create bigger problems. Now, you don't think that's going to create a bigger problem? That's going to create a bigger problem, is it not? That's man trying to solve issues. That's no different than you and I trying to solve our problems. No different. So what are we going to end up with is a bigger problem than what we're trying to solve. I can understand that we're in debt and they got to save money.